Harness Racing's Grand Circuit continued last night with a $150,000 Treuer memorial from Bankstown. Neil Donnelly, who's been covering the Grand Circuit with us throughout the year, has joined us again this morning. And Neil, two things. One, did we see the next star of Australian pacing, and your assessment of Franco Tiger's performance, the horse that has swept everything before him?
Your first question, Bruce, and good morning to you. Franco Tiger, I was talking to Brian Gathie's driver about Jack Morris during the week when the barrier draw came out for the Treuer, and he made the comment to me that he thinks that Jack Morris, he said then, may be the next great horse of Australian harness racing, and he may not be too far off the mark. After watching that race last night, he was very, very impressive. He looks like he's a real horse. We might have just seen the start of a great career last night with that horse.
Franco Tiger won 3 races this year, the Queensland, the Australian and the Miracle Mile. He finished 5th last night.
Yeah, Brian Gath was a victim of circumstance. As we see when we roll the tape, he was trapped 3 wide for the last 2 laps, a little more than 2 laps. And he was a bit stiff because, as the tape will show, Sermo Way, who was in the death, was pulling very hard. Generator, a known grinder, we've spoken about him before on Sports World, was up 3 wide, looking for that spot, looking to be outside the leader. Couldn't get there. Brian Gath, I think, sensed this very early, thought, I'll just sit on his back here and get the cart home. And all of a sudden, Generator drops in on the running line and Franco Tiger's left 3 wide, and he was just in no man's land and couldn't win when that happened. But he did a good job to run 5th.
He did. Now, after the Miracle Mile, you said that you thought Brian Gath and Tony Hurley were the 2 best drivers you'd seen. Now,
yeah, I still do say that, but last night you wouldn't have thought so, would you?
Well, Brian got caught a little. I mean, he was a victim. Tony just refused to go on Christopher Vance. He just kept sitting.
Tony's always been a quiet driver, and it's been his patience that's won him a lot of races, particularly with this horse, Christopher Vance. Last night...
Can't the horse do any work?
Yeah, yes, he's a tough horse. He can work hard. I thought it was a strange drive. Didn't have a lot of luck. Things didn't really go for him because he didn't have horses around him at the back of the field good enough to cart him home. But I think he should have been off and running a little earlier than he was.
See what you think. Here we go to the Treuer Memorial, the whole race, and Jack Morris straight to the front. A very interesting race, particularly in the earlier middle stages where a lot of moves are made.
There's the light and they're racing. Jack Morris went away fast. Band Magic going through in the middle. And Franco Glenn wider out the Unicorn as Jack Morris crosses to the rail. Warrior Khan behind the leader early, and then the Unicorn Sermo Way getting through the middle. Further back is We Own a Chief. Trouble out of the straight. Warrior Khan galloped. Warrior Khan galloped and flattened We Own a Chief. Christopher Vance got around it, so did Generator. But Warrior Khan out the back, and Jack Morris has held the lead. He immediately puts the brakes on. Here's Franco Glenn rushing up to second, out wide on the rail. Third is Band Magic behind the leader. Going forward, Sermo Way 3 deep now, and then the Unicorn. We Own a Chief got going again. He made ground along the inside from Franco Tiger, 1 to Christopher Vance. Generator is second last, and Warrior Khan is last on the inside. Out of the back, and Jack Morris is the leader. Going up to second is Sermo Way. Third on the fence, Band Magic, and Franco Glenn now gets the 1-1. A length to the Unicorn. Here comes Generator. He's taking off 3 deep around them now. We Own a Chief midfield on the rail. A length away, Franco Tiger, Christopher Vance, and the last one is Warrior Khan. Down to the judge with a mile to go. And the West Australian, Jack Morris, is the leader. The Unicorn going up on the outside. Sermo Way to race without cover, and they've got Generator 3 wide, and the pace is right on. Band Magic on the rail next from Franco Glenn. 2 to We Own a Chief. They're followed 3 deep by Franco Tiger. Between runners, the Unicorn. 1.5 to Christopher Vance, and 2 lengths to Warrior Khan. Plenty of moves as they run into the back now. About 1,300 to go, and it's Jack Morris about a neck to Sermo Way. Third on the rail, Band Magic. Generator's been able to drop in onto the back of Sermo Way and has the 1-1. And now Franco Tiger's posted out 3 wide. A length away, We Own a Chief on the insider. Franco Glenn 1.5 away to the Unicorn. Christopher Vance is second last, and a length away is Warrior Khan. Out of the back, and Jack Morris is the leader. He's calling the tune up front. Jack Morris, he leads about ahead to Sermo Way, and Franco Tiger's going to have to do it tough tonight. He's 3 wide for the last mile by the looks of it. Band Magic on the rail. Generator being hard driven in the middle. 3 deep, Franco Glenn on the back of Franco Tiger. Then We Own a Chief, the Unicorn, Christopher Vance, and Warrior Khan is last of all. There's the bell. Around to go, and Jack Morris is the leader. Leads out a half length to Sermo Way. Third is Band Magic. Franco Tiger is still 3 wide. He's been there for a lap, and he's doing it tough tonight, Franco Tiger. Generator in the middle. Then We Own a Chief. Franco Glenn on the back of Franco Tiger. Then comes the Unicorn, Warrior Khan, and Christopher Vance is still last. last, the New Zealander. Down the back, and Jack Morris. He's gone for home. He's got away 1.5 lengths to Sermoway and Band Magic. A length behind those, then Franco Tiger fourth, followed by Franco Glen. We own a Chief Generator. Then Warrior Khan, the Unicorn, and Christopher Vance with a big job. He's stone motherless at the 400. He's gone for home. Harney on Jack Morris. The West Australian burst away. He's 3 on Band Magic going to second. Sermoway's gone, then Franco Tiger and Franco Glen. But the West Aussie Jack Morris is well clear. He's about 5 to Band Magic. Then Franco Tiger and Franco Glen. But they're not going to catch Jack Morris. He's bolting away with the Treuer Memorial. He's 6 on Band Magic. Christopher Vance flying when it's all over. But Jack Morris makes a one-act affair of the Treuer Memorial and wins by 4 or 5 lengths to Band Magic, and Christopher Vance came from last.
And after 5 races in the Grand Circuit, 4 in Australia and 1 in New Zealand, you get 5 for win, 3 for second, 1 for third. You can see Franco Tigers appears to have a stranglehold with 15 points over Jack Morris with 6. The next race is in Auckland on December 28, the Auckland Cup, and in the next Australian races are January 2, the Western Australian Pacing Cup, Tasmanian Pacing Championships. I see Westburn Grant there on 2 points. Now, Neil, he didn't run last night. What's the situation with him?
Well, it's still a bit of a mystery. Vic Frost has been very quiet this week. The horse was a shock scratching from the Treuer on Thursday morning, and the horse had notable problems after the Miracle Mile. You recall he didn't race very well, went fourth. Although I guess the form stood up, he just couldn't run down Jack Morris, and he's come out and won last night. But he didn't dash like he normally does. I think he's nearly at the end of his tether. I don't think his legs are holding up too well. I'd be surprised if, in fact, I'm sure he won't defend his Inter-Dominion title early next year in Brisbane. He wouldn't stand 4 runs in a fortnight these days. So
you're going to have to be very specific with the races he goes for.
I would suggest that he might have 1 or 2 more runs at best. Probably his last race, I think, might be the Victoria Cup, but that's speculation. Vic Frost says he's fine, but I don't think he is.
OK, and Sean Harney, who's a larger-than-life figure, the Western Australian, who drove Jack Morris. Good for the game, I think. It needs it.
He's fantastic. I mean, people knock confidence, but the best thing that ever happened to harness racing in this country was Vinnie Knight.
No question about that. His death is still being felt, I think.
Of course, no doubt. Will be for a long time. He was confidence personified, and he gave the sport so much publicity, and people love to go out and watch him. And Sean Harney, so he's confident, terrific.
They divide people, don't they? People either love them to win or want to see them get beaten, and we've created, well, a new personality has been created in the sport, and there's nothing wrong with that. Good luck. Good punting, and we'll catch up with you in the new year, Neil. Thanks for your contribution this year when the Grand Circuit continues with the Victoria Cup in February.
Terrific, thank you, Bruce.
Neil Donnelly bringing us right up to date with the latest in harness racing. A break. Alan Stone's up next. There's been plenty happening in tennis.